Here we've got another one asking for this kind of conformation to the conventions of standard English. And we should see, though, using the word though, that we've got a transition that we're going to have to deal with as well. So first part, though, is going to be to evaluate that vertical line. So I'm going to just use the exact same process. We're going to have our vertical line, and you basically want to pretend as though the though is not there, because it's something that is basically intended to break up the flow of the sentence. So we're going to have as the word before the blank pristine, and then after not though, but many. And rather than writing out before and after as we did previously, I'm just going to use a B and an A. So if we just read, they are hardly pristine, subject and verb, subject is they, are is the verb, it's a complete idea. Then we pick up after the though with many chondrites experience aqueous alteration as a result of exposure to fluids, as well as fracturing, veining, and localized melting due to collisions with other objects. That too is a complete sentence that could stand, or a complete independent clause that could stand alone as an independent sentence. So right now, we know that we're going to have some sort of semicolon involved. So goodbye to A and goodbye to D. Then we've got to determine whether the contrast is between the two pieces of this sentence, or if the starting part of this sentence is contrasting with what came before it. And we should recognize that the many chondrites experiencing aqueous alteration is going to cause this fracturing, veining, and melting. That's going to show they're hardly pristine. So we don't want the though to come after the semicolon. We need it to come before the semicolon so that we contrast with what came prior to this second sentence. Correct answer is B. If you need to, you could read your choice back into the sentences.